The powerful presence of the Holy Spirit remains with the church today, even though sometimes it might not seem that way. Here we are at the 6th week of Easter, which means Pentecost is coming soon. We've been through all these days, and the Gospels on Sunday take us back to John's Last Supper. We got a little glimpse of it on Holy Thursday at the Mass of the Lord's Supper, but it's being unpacked for us. Jesus, after washing the feet of his disciples, gives them a new commandment: love one another as I have loved you. Well, how is that love lived out? It's as if it were a commencement. You may have heard that before. It's kind of like graduation for the guys who have been with Jesus in his earthly ministry. But like so many graduates listening to the commencement speeches of those guests who come to offer them a glimpse of what the real world will be like, they don't pay much attention. It's only with the gift of the Spirit that they're able to become emboldened, that they have what we call the indwelling of Father, Son, and Spirit, the powerful advocate that Jesus promised them, the presence of God within them, the grace, the strength, the courage they need to move out into the world. You know, sometimes we think back about those days of the early church and expect that it was a perfect place. Oh, if only we could go back to that. But it wasn't, and the readings this Sunday show us there were challenges. One of the biggest challenges, of course, was what do you do when the Gentiles came knocking on the door? How do they become accepted into the community? Do they have to become Jewish first? We may say, oh, that's not such a big deal. They resolved it, but it was a big deal. So that gives me hope, because today we face challenges just like that of the early church. How do we welcome others? How do we open ourselves to the movement of the Spirit? How do we not give in to the temptation to go back and say, things were better before? Before what? Before anything that changed my comfort, before anything that shook me up and asked me, how do I deal with the presence of God in this situation, in the now? Because God is always in the now, in the present. And if we remain open to the stirrings of God inside of us, the Holy Spirit will show up.